Right, so the first thing you want to do is to cut a hole in your first box for the spillway, just like the images coming up. The next step for me was to remove a couple of sections of the vertical strips on the outside of the box. This is only because they were directly in line with the screw holes on the spillway and they were going to cause issues when it come to screwing it down. Obviously I wanted it flush. Just used the Stanley knife to tidy them up a bit and make the job a bit neater. After cutting them away with the grinder with a fine blade on it. I wouldn't recommend using jigsaws at all in these boxes because they just seem to shatter. I've used them for various things and that's it's just not good. So the next step is to create a backing plate for the spillway so that we can fix it to the box. Just draw around the base of your blade or spillway and cut it out. I would advise using or wearing safety goggles if you are doing this because a piece of plastic actually flipped up and stuck to the front of the glasses. So I was glad I had them on. If just use the grinder with a fine blade to cut it out. I may have said already, but I definitely wouldn't advise using jigsaws on these boxes at all, unless you have a very fine blade. Just trim it up using a Stanley knife and give it a bit of a key up with some sandpaper. Otherwise, your silicone's not going to adhere to it as it's a polished surface. It would definitely stick better if you give it a little bit of a sand. Mark it up with a plate, drill a couple of pilot holes, and you're pretty much good to go with that. Measure roughly to the top of the hole. This is so we can raise the floor of the shower filter because for me I didn't want the media sitting submerged for two reasons. One, I didn't want submerged media. Two, it would distort the water coming over the blade coming out of the shower. So I cut the four legs out of 1.5 inch PVC and 9 centimeters, which was roughly the top of the hole. I then took some media grids that I bought off eBay relatively cheap and cut them to the size and created a sort of raised floor that I could dump the media on. Quite simple really, cut them to shape. You can silicone the legs into place if you want, but my grids were pretty tight, so I didn't see the need.